This is the second part of a Level 2 Functional Skills Maths paper from AQA. In this part you can use a calculator. Question 1. Event happening is 3/5. Circle the probability of the event not happening. So the probability of something happening and the probability of it not happening both together will add up to 1. So what is that fraction we can add to 3/5 so that the answer is 1, or 5/5? So it's like doing 5/5, take away 3/5, that gives us 2/5. So that's the probability of the event not happening. X equals 5 and y equals -3.2. Work out the value of x plus y squared. So first we'll replace the letters with their values. So instead of x, we're going to put 5 plus y, which is -3.2. Again, we'll put that in brackets because we've got addition just in front of it, so to not confuse things. And also the whole thing is being squared. So y squared means -3.2 is being squared. Now when you do this in the calculator, just make sure you actually do -3.2 times -3.2, which is 10.24. So you know that that would be the first step, doing the -3.2 squared. Yeah, Bidmus, and you've got brackets in there, indices, so indices is powers. So I'll rewrite this as 5 plus 10.24. Now adding them together is 15.24, the answer. A is the point 1, 2. B is the point 3 squares west of A and 5 squares south of A. Work out the coordinates of B. Okay, so 3 squares west of A . So here is A, here is north, south, got west, and then east. So as we said, that was 3 squares west of A. So there is 1, 2, 3, and then 5 squares south of A. So we're going to go from that point south, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be point B. The coordinates, that is -2, -3. In the boxes, write the number that is 3 more than -8. So quick number line, we've got 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. So 3 more means adding 3, going up 3 steps. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And that is -5. For less than -2. So where is -2? That's -1. This is -2. So for less, we're going to go down 4 steps. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is -6. Then halfway between -7 and 5. Here is -7 and 5. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is here. How many steps is this all together? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 7. So 7 and 5, that is 12. So we're going 6 steps down from this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to -1. Or you could go 6 steps up from the -7 and still give the same answer. Write the ratio 144 to 90 in its simplest form. If you look at the numbers and they look big and you don't know what to divide them by, then it's okay to just break it down like you do with the fractions. So in this case, I'll divide both numbers by 2 because 2 fits into both of them. So if I divide 144 by 2, it's going to give me 72. And then 90 divided by 2 gives me 45. Now looking at these two, 72 and 45, they both appear in the 9's times tables, so they can both be divided by 9. So that gives us 8 to 5. And that's the furthest you can go, so this is the simplest form. Here is an isosceles triangle. Work out the size of angle X. So isosceles means that the triangle has 2 equal sides, which also means 2 equal angles here. And that means that this angle is 42. These 2 little lines tell us that these sides are of the same length. So we've got 42 and 42. We know that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So if I add 42 and 42, which gives me 84, and I take that away from 180, should give me what X is equal to. So that is 10, take away 4, which gives us 6, and then 17 take away 8, which is 9. So 96 degrees is the answer. Energy. Jim's house has gas central heating. The charges for the gas Jim uses are shown in the table. Cost per unit of gas, kilowatt hour, 2.92 pence. Standing charge per day, 39.6 pence. In November, Jim uses 1,976 kilowatt hour of gas. Use approximations to estimate Jim's November gas payment. Give your answer in pounds. As we're going to use approximations, we need to round these figures. So I'll round 2.92 to 3 pence, 39.6 to 40 pence, and 1,976, I'm going to round that to 2,000. So this is the cost per unit, and this is how many units. So if we do 2000 times 3, that will give us 6,000 pence as the cost for 2000 units. Then we've got the standing charge per day. There are 30 days in November, and we've got 40 pence. So 30 times 40, which is 1,200 pence. So that in total is going to be 7,200 pence. We've got to give our answer in pounds. There are 100 pence in a pound, so if we divide 7,200 by 100, it gives us 72 pounds. Jim's current gas company produces 43% of their gas from green sources. He uses this pie chart for another gas company, Mixed Gas. Jim wants to use the company with a greater proportion of gas from green sources. Should Jim change to Mixed Gas? You must show your working. So green sources is represented here through this angle. How many degrees is that? We'll need to work out. So in total for the circle we've got 360 degrees. So if I do 360, take away 198, it should give me the difference, which represents the green sources. So 360 take away 198 gives us 162 degrees. Now, that is 162 out of 360. So practically, in the calculator, you're doing 162 divided by 360, which gives us 0.45. And that is the same as 45%. You could multiply it by 100 if you like, or just think of it like if it was money. That would be how many pence in a pound, so 45 pence in the pound, and that's 45%. So let's compare it now to 43%. So it's a higher percentage than the current gas company that Jim uses. Should Jim change to mixed gas? We're going to say yes. And that should be enough. Jim is thinking of buying solar panels. The price of these panels has decreased by 27% since 2016. Jim would need to pay £4,803.40 for the panels now. How much would the panels have cost in 2016? So if we represent here the cost in 2016, should have been 100%, the 100% amount, which we don't know at the moment. And then there was a decrease by 27%. So now, this is the cost now. How many percent is this equal to? So 100 take away 27 gives us 73%. So if I divide the amount 4,803.40 by 73, it's going to give me what 1% is worth. So let's do that. And it gives us 65.8. So 65 pounds and 80 pence, that's what 1% is worth. We want the 100% amount. That's what the original price was. So we're just going to multiply this by 100. So 65.8 times 100, that gives us 6,580. Dog. Ben has a dog called Pluto. Ben takes Pluto for a walk. They walk 4 laps of a sports track. The sports track is the shape of 2 semicircles joined by 2 straight sections. Ben has a target to walk 5,000 meters each day. What percentage of his daily target has been completed on this walk? So we've got these 2 straight lines that are 120 meters each. So 2 times 120 gives us 240 meters. Now we need to work out the length of these semicircles. If I join them 2 together, it will make a full circle. So if we work out the circumference of the circle, that should help us a lot. So the formula for that is pi lots of the diameter, or 2 pi r. We've got the diameter here, so let's use pi times d. So diameter is 30 meters, and pi, let's just use 3.14, but feel free to use 3.142 if you like. So times the 30 gives us 94.2 meters. So one track will be equal to 240 plus the 94.2, which is 334.2 meters. And they do 4 laps. So we're going to do 4 times 334.2, which is 1,336.8. That's how many meters they do in. Question is, what percentage of his daily target has been completed on his walk? The target is 5,000 meters. So we're going to do 1,336.8 out of the 5,000, which is equal to 0.26736. Now, as a percentage, that is going to be 27%, about 27%. Pluto needs to eat 420 grams of food each day in the ratio of wet food to dry food being 2 to 5. Ben buys a 12 kilogram bag of dry food. How many days of dry food does the bag provide? So the ratio of wet to dry food is 2 to 5. and we've got 7 units in total. That means Pluto needs to eat 420 grams each day of the food. So if I do 420 divided by 7, which is 60, that tells us how many times 7 goes into 420. So 7 times 60 gives us 420. So we're interested on the dry food. So again, we're going to do 5 times 60, and that gives us 300. So Pluto eats 300 grams of dry food a day. Question is, Ben buys 12 kilograms of dry food, and how many days does that last? So we're going to have to convert 300 grams into 0.3 kilograms. So then we can go and do 12 divided by 0.3 to see how long this lasts. And that is equal to 40. So that's 40 days. In his garden, Ben has a rectangular fenced area for Pluto. The fenced area measures 2.4 meters by 2.25 meters. Ben builds a kennel for Pluto, which covers 1/6 of the fenced area. Here is a sketch of the kennel. The base of the kennel is a rectangle. Work out the length of the kennel. So the fenced area measures 2.4 meters by 2.25 meters. So we can kind of imagine that in like this. 2.4 by 2.25. So we're going to multiply 2.4 by 2.25 to get the total area, which is 5.4 square meters. Now, we're also told that the kennel covers 1/6 of the fenced area, so it's only 1/6. So 5.4 divided by 6 should give us the area that the kennel covers, which is 0.9 square meters. Now, again, you can imagine the area that this covers will be like this. So the base of the kennel is a rectangle, and we've got the width given to us, but we don't know the length. So if we know that that area is 0.9, what we can do is 0.9 divided by 0.72 to give us the length, because as you know, we multiplied length by width to get the area. Now we've got the area, let's divide it by the width to get the length, and that gives us 1.25, and that's going to be meters, because we input square meters divided by meters. That's going to give us meters as the answer. Fundraising. A charity organizes an annual sponsored swim. Ahmed swam 50 lengths of a pool that is 25 meters long. The swim took him 38 minutes. Ahmed says, "My average speed was more than 0.7 meters per second. Is Ahmed correct? You must show your working." So he swam 50 lengths of the pool, and that is 25 meters each. So times 25 gives us 1,250 meters, and it took him 38 minutes. Whereas he's saying my average speed was more than 0.7 meters per second. So we need to convert this into seconds first. In each minute there are 60 seconds, so we're going to do 38 times 60 to give us 2,280 seconds. Now we can divide the meters by the seconds to get meters per second. So 1,250 divided by 2,280, which is 0.5484 and so on. So going back to the question, is Ahmed correct? Because it says my average speed was more than 0.7 meters per second, whereas this is 0.5 roughly. So we're going to say no. Ahmed collected £35 for his swim and gave it to the charity. 6/7 of this money was donated by taxpayers. Using gift aid, the charity claimed an extra 25p for every £1 donated by a taxpayer. How much money did the charity receive, including gift aid, from Ahmed's swim? So the extra 25p is for the donated money. So donated by a taxpayer, we've got 6/7 of the £35. So we're going to work out 6/7 of £35. So we'll do 35 divided by 7 times 6, which gives us £30. So for each of these £30, they will get an extra 25p. So what we're going to do is 30 times 0.25. So converting the pence into pounds, which gives us 7.5. So that is £7.50. So in total, we've got the £35, add the £7.50, and that gives us £42.50. This year, 20 people completed the sponsored swim. The table shows information about the sponsor money collected. Last year, the mean amount collected per swimmer was £14.85. The charity organiser says, this year's mean amount is more than £3 higher than last year's. Show you're working to support this statement. So we're going to have to work out the mean amount for this year and compare it to last year's. Now, as we got a range given here, between 0 and 10, the midpoint would be 5. So 7 times 5, that is 35. Midpoint between 10 and 20, that's going to be 15. Between 20 and 30 is going to be 25. 30 and 40, 35. 40 and 50, 45. So multiplying these across now, we get 60 here, we get 150 here, get 35, and then 90. That is in total 370. So dividing that now by the frequency, the total frequency, which is 20. So 370 divided by 20 gives us 18.5. So that is £18.50. This year's mean amount. Whereas the organizer said this year's mean amount is more than £3 higher than last year's. So if that's last year's, 1485, add to that 3 gives us 1785. So it actually is more than £3 higher, and we've shown that. Conservatory. Molly is building a conservatory. Here is a plan view of the conservatory. The conservatory floor will be made of concrete. The concrete floor will be 0.1 meters deep. What volume of concrete will Molly need for the floor? State the units of your answer. So we're going to need to work out volume then. But to work out volume, we need to work out the area first. So let's work out the area of the conservatory first, and it looks like a compound shape. I'm going to split it into different shapes, simple shapes, like this one here, for example. We've got width being 3 meters and length 4, so we can do 3 times 4 to give us 12 square meters for this. Now we've got this other shape, which is the trapezium. If you know how to work out the area of trapezium, that's good, and it's basically adding this length with this length, dividing it by 2, and then multiplying it by the height. If you don't know that, you could split this into 2 shapes as well, into a rectangle and a triangle. So let's just do this. For this area, we've got 3.4 meters times, what is this? This length here, or the width, let's just call it the width here, that is equal to 4.5 take away 3 meters, because this is the same as this. So 4.5 take away 3 gives us 1.5, and that is 5.1. Now to work out the area of this triangle. So we need the base and the height. What is the base equal to? Let's see. So we're going to work it out by taking away this length from the whole thing. So this is 4 meters. Take away the 3.4. That gives us 0.6. So we know this is 0.6. Now to work out the height, what will we do? We've actually worked it out earlier when we looked at this length, and that was 1.5. So 4.5 take away 3. So what we're going to do now to work out the area of the triangle is 1.5 times 0.6 divided by 2, which is 0.45 square meters. So adding them all together now, we've got 5.1, 12 and 0.45. Gives us 17.55 square meters. Now we've got the area. If we multiply it by the depth, we should get the volume of the concrete. So 17.55 times 0.1 gives us 1.755. That is cubic meters, because we need to state the units in the answer as well. Molly has a scale drawing of the side elevation of the conservatory. The scale of the drawing is 3:50. The height of the conservatory on the scale drawing is 23.4 centimeters. Is the actual height of the conservatory less than 4 meters? You must show your working. So first of all, the scale is 3:50. So 3 is on the scale drawing, and actual dimensions are represented by 50. So the height of the conservatory on the scale drawing is 23.4 centimeters. So what is it going to be in reality? So to get from 3 to 23.4, what have we done to 3? What have we multiplied it by? So to work it out, we'll do the inverse. 23.4 divided by 3, that gives us 7.8. So 3 times 7.8 gives us 23.4. We'll do the same on the other side, multiplied by 7.8. So 50 times 7.8 gives us 390. So what is that 390? If we input centimeters, we're going to get out centimeters. So 390 centimeters. Question is the actual height of the conservatory less than 4 meters? In a meter, there are 100 centimeters. The clue is the C there, centi, like a century, or cents in a euro. So there are 100 of them. So practically 390 centimeters, that is 3.9 meters. You could just divide this by 100 to get 3.9. So 3.9 meters, that is less than 4 meters. So we're going to say yes. And we've shown the evidence, the working out. Molly wants to build a brick wall as part of the conservatory. It would take Molly 12 hours to build the wall by herself. Molly pays 2 builders to work with her to build the wall. Molly pays each builder £14.73 per hour. How much will Molly pay each builder for their work? Assume that Molly and the builders work at the same rate. So it takes one person 12 hours. So Molly pays 2 builders to work with her. So that would be 3 people doing this now. So to get from 1 to 3, we multiply by 3. So 1 times 3 gives us 3. Now let's not forget this is inverse proportion, because the more people get involved in building, the less time it's going to take. So if we multiply it by 3 on this side, now we're going to divide by 3 on the other side. So 12 divided by 3 gives us 4. So it takes 4 hours. Now Molly pays each builder £14.73 per hour. So each person will get 4 times 14.73, which is 58.92. So £58.92. And this is the end of the paper.